So, a few days ago, I was bored. I figured that a game of Catan would go hard. Main problem being, I don't own the game. Which is fine, right? I can just like print it with this bad boy. So, I went online and looked for a one material print. And wherever I looked, all I found was ultra complex models, either with like 5 different materials each, or grayscale, and you gotta paint them yourself. And don't get me wrong, this is sick, they're really, really cool. I love them, but I don't have the patience to paint every piece by hand, and I don't want to use too much material for each piece. So I figured I'll just make it myself. Now the first step is to try to find a concept. So I'm gonna look online and try to find a reference that looks cool. I want it to be kind of innovative in some way, so that's what I'm gonna be looking for. So I went online and I found this. It's a procedurally generated hex grid for all the different Catan pieces. So I am not nearly skilled enough to make something like this, but I figured I could heavily inspire myself by doing some 3D printable pieces. It inspired a lot of good ideas, and it's really cool. Also, check out the person who made it. His name is Joe Pavitt 3D. Which means time to start designing. So I got to it. The first thing I did was take a cylinder and make it 6-sided, because that's what you do in Blender. Then I copy-pasted a bunch. So I kind of just repeated it a few times with modifiers. I'm still not very good at Blender, so this was the most effective method I could think of, and it worked out well for me. Then the next thing I did was take that shape and I put some indents on the corners. That's where I'm going to have the settlements and cities. Turns out with hex grids you can get pretty creative. And then I started making the shapes, the terrain. So that was the mountain you just saw, that's the plains, you might not be able to tell, that's the forest. And the idea is that it's going to be just like one solid color for all of the pieces. So this forest tile, for example, will be a dark green, and that would help you understand what it is. Now, all that's left to do is to get printing. Maybe. But please, in the comments, let me know what I can do to improve the design. I feel like I'm only scratching the surface of what's possible with what I got. But I will keep you updated, and I will post the results in the next video. Bye-bye.